Dr. Shacklestein. Alright.
'Territory lost.
God, this shit's so confusing. I'm sorry. That was not what I was expecting. Okay, bus. Alright, now we just gotta wait. Well, shit. Fine. Oh wait, I need the voice clip.
Old songstress won't write me a song. I'll
I'll
write my own song.
Alright, let's see how long it takes.
Custom.
Ah, shit. put the holograms here so people can just, you know, do that. And then you can switch. It's like, pretty funny things here.
Acknowledged. Shoot is a go. Out. Splash. Round primed. Call for fire.
Game over.
What? Someone joined? What? People joined?
Capture the flag.
Kicked? I didn't kick him. What the fuck? killed him. Nice.
Flag stolen.
Shit.
Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag captured. Lost the lead. Flag taken. Flag captured. Tied the leader.
Damn it. Gotta get the Falcon. I mean, Pelican. Shit.
Flag reset.
God damn it. Looks like we're gonna have to do other things. Sorry, Chud.
Flag stolen. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
Yeah.
Flag captured. Lost the lead.
Okay, let's charge in. Okay, the one time.
Flag taken.
Oh, that didn't go as planned. Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
Flag dropped. Flag recovered. Flag stolen.
Damn it.
Flag dropped.
Damn it. Firing at my pelican. Oh, don't. Shit.
Flag reset.
Just. I got him. Yeah, he's going to the submarine. Oh, fuck.
Flag taken.
Oh, landmine. Goodbye.
Flag captured. Tie the leader. Flag stolen.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, shit! Oh, God.
Flag dropped. Flag reset.
Oh, shit. Just lure him over here. Oh, shit. Well, I just saw only 5 minutes. Oh, I hit him!
Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag taken.
Oh, someone's blown up.
Flag dropped.
Okay. So I think we can just bait people into going like in front of there. Cause they'll go and see.
Flag
there's someone
stolen.
there. So what do they know? There's someone right.
Flag taken.
Okay, so
Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag recovered. Flag captured. Lost the lead.
damn it. Okay, we're just gonna have to push.
Flag taken. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag reset. Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag reset.
Looks like I have to do all the work now. Okay.
Flag taken.
Hello. Don't mind me, just taking your feet.
Flag
God
dropped.
damn it.
Flag taken. Flag stolen.
Ain't last
Flag
me.
dropped. Flag recovered.
Ain't last me. Coming for ya. Oh shit.
Flag captured.
God damn it. Get me. Damn it. Oh shit. You think you can stop me? I have a pelican turret. I'm coming for you. I ripped off the pelican turret.
Revenge. Flag
Damn
stolen.
it. Mine.
Flag taken.
about 40.
Flag
Yes.
dropped.
Damn it. No, you go in front of this.
Flag
Damn
reset.
teammate.
Flag captured.
Well, the submarine's blown up. Wait, did I get him? I may have got him.
Flag stolen.
Okay, so we may have lost a few people. Okay. So, change teams here.
Team change. Flag captured.
You know, just to auto balance some things out. Oh, Oy vey.
Flag taken. Flag stolen.
What? No, you're not supposed to do that.
Flag dropped. Flag taken.
Just conveniently placed him right here. Damn it. It's just him and me. Who's the other guy?
Flag reset. Game over.
Okay, so we might have gotten a few kills here and there, but people seem to leave this one alone.
Custom.
Oh, now it's going to this game. Oh, that's nice. I don't even have to change anything. Dead Ops joined me.
Capture the flag. First strike.
Thank you. Oh, where did he go? Yes, I'm letting him kill me so he doesn't leave. Come on, like one of us here is lonely. Oh no! Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh. Not even trying, so he doesn't leave out of frustration of being beaten by me, so... Could have easily split out there.
Flag taken.
I hope you don't mind me. I'm just stealing this for my own personal use. Oh shit.
Flag reset.
Oy vey.
Suicide. Suicide.
Okay.
Flag taken.
Now, it thankfully seems like he doesn't realize the
Flag
power.
captured.
Flag.
Gain the lead. Flag stolen. Flag captured. Suicide. Flag taken. Suicide. Flag drop. Flag taken. Flag captured. Gained the lead.
Yeah.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
I guess he didn't expect me to throw him away like that. Oh shit.
Suicide. Flag stolen.
Oh, you bastard.
Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
Right into the ocean you go. That's how you recover a flag. No, I'm sorry. Oh, quite unfortunate that you went the wrong way. Oh, quite unfortunate, indeed. Hey there, good to see you.
Suicide. Flag taken. Flag stolen.
See
Flag captured.
quite unfortunate.
Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
You just got. Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna take your flag again.
Flag taken.
Missed me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Flag captured.
Quite unfortunate that happened. still pick
Flag
this up.
taken. Flag dropped.
Oh, come on.
Flag taken. Flag dropped. Teammate gained. Flag taken.
And
Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag captured.
oh, looks like they got a little more company. Nothing we can't solve. Oh shit, they're going up to the spaceship. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Why are these guys all freaking...
Flag taken.
Oh, that's weird.
Flag captured.
Stop at 7 and switch to 3.
Flag taken. Flag captured. Team change.
Oh, you wanna fight? blew each other up. Sorry, this is hope you don't mind. Just casually stealing.
Flag taken.
But you just have to do that, don't you?
Teammate gained.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Flag dropped. Flag reset. Team change.
Get out of here.
Game over.
We both just left. Left my game. This makes me so angry. Ugh. Now I need a break.
Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag reset. Betrayed. Flag reset.
Armor lock. Try that
Flag stolen. Betrayed. Flag taken. Flag dropped.
I get splattered. Oh shit. It's fine.
Flag dropped. Flag reset.
Alright. No.
Flag reset.
Damn it. Oh. Oh, come on. Of course. Of course. Of course. Yeah, one time. I don't have a concussion right now. switch teams. Of course not. Yeah, now I have to deal with this guy spawn camping us. Oh my god. Yeah, this wouldn't be a problem if I had a concussion rifle, but guess what? I don't have one. It's just annoying when shit happens because your teammates are stupid. Because they just kill you.
Flag taken.
Leave me alone now. I see Sparkle. Piece of shit.
Flag stolen.
Oh my god. No freaking. And it's gone. It's
Flag
gone.
dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag taken. Flag captured. Tied the leader. Flag dropped. Flag reset. Betrayed.
Okay, why do I have... Oh, God. See, everything keeps getting ruined because the damn teammates keep team killing me. It's so annoying. And also, I can't even find the weapons I need either. Oh, I found one. Bye-bye.
Flag taken. Betrayed. Flag dropped. Flag taken.
Spark. Oh. Oh man.
Flag. Gain the lead.
Okay, let's do that. No, people who say okay and have no argument. Hey, Messy Spark. It's good to see you again, you know. Yeah, come get me. You can't get me, no. You can't. I love how you just type in an insult to me and I just jump off and start smacking. Oh man. yeah, you try it out. Oh.
Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped.
Oh, I'm falling. Oh. What the? That's so Highlander. What the fuck is that?
Flag reset. Revenge.
There were two of them. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Ah! Dead. Oh, he's died.
Suicide.
Or get one of it, or can you get in? There's a bunch. I think there's a bunch of my legs coming. Whatever, just grab a warthog. It'll work with a warthog. It'll work with a warthog. What time is it? Oh, what? Warthog.
Hello?
Oh, hello?
There we go. Oh, what's up?
I don't know. I'm playing Halo, and this virgin keeps trying to team kill me, and I hope he dies of cancer.
Die a violent death. Anyway, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I just did a quick food run and a couple other things, so I'm just kind of trying to relax. Checked on some of my stuff. The Cringe comic is still doing numbers, which I'm pleased by.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like apparently I embodied what a lot of people don't like about it, so it's like, haha, fuck you. Also, I was just taking a look at fucking, oh god, this fucking virgin making arguments about plot holes, and I'm just gonna sit there like, fuck you, you bald-headed, fuck. It was, what's his name? Patrick Willem, that's it.
Really?
Yeah, so his argument is that, like, this like, video he makes came about because his, what was it? The argument came about because a lot of people were, like, pointing out the huge logical plot holes of The Last Jedi. And so, he does the typical, like, millennial / zoomer / whatever kind of, like, approach of argument, and will basically, like, straw mans the entire argument, and then tries to, like, say, oh, you know, nobody knows what an actual plot hole is,
Yeah,
and this and that, like.
It's the oh, it's not real communist argument.
Double kill.
Kinda, but the point is that he tries to, like, paint two alternatives where it's like first of all, he tries to, like, split plot holes into, like, plot holes that, like, ruin the story completely, or sorry. He tries to split into two things where, like, one's a plot hole that could be ignored and is like, oh, it's not really that big of a deal, but he doesn't actually, like, phrase it that way. And then the other one he calls plot inconsistencies, and it's like splitting hairs, because he knows he can't argue that plot holes don't, like, affect the film. Like, even if they're big or small, every film will have some form of plot hole in it.
Oh, hold on, I
Yeah.
gotta pee quickly. I'll be right back.
Alright, go ahead.
Warthog rocket. Oh, bugger. Here, oh, that's a wraith. See? Okay. Nope.
Flag
You got it.
stolen.
Ooh, that was actually dangerously close.
Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
I'm going so slow. Right.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
So yes, you're fine. So, like, he tries to make a, like, distinction without a difference, and the point is that way he can, like, address
Flag
yes,
reset.
films have plot holes that can really damage a film's, like, progress, but also not admit to it and be like, oh, you know, it's not really that big of an issue, and, you know, that sort of thing. It's like his way of, like, saying, oh yeah, there's a plot hole that like affects some movies I like, but you know, I'm going to call them plot inconsistencies because it's how, you know, it's a difference without it really being a difference.
He can't actually argue for it, so he has to change the definition around because, you know, you can't actually argue why plot holes are good, so you have to just say it's not a plot hole and to avoid the argument.
Oh my god.
Which is common with Zoomers and millennials. They can't argue for the slop, so they have to, you know, lie about it.
Don't go left.
Frequently.
Go.
And so the whole video boils down to like,
I don't know if we should go up there or not.
what's it called? They like he goes into this whole like spiel and like actively tries to like describe or like again he tries to like make these arguments and then fallaciously puts in like it's very clear that he's picking like shit at random and will frequently like misrepresent what something happens in one film versus another. Like for example, he uses Alien for one of his points, where in one of the scenes of the original film, there is this moment where the crew is trying to take the facehugger off of one of their crew members, and so there's this kind of like the plan is to like surgically cut off the creature's fingers at the knuckles and pull the thing off without it like scraping open the guy's head, right? But as they do it, like they use the tool to cut open the creature's finger. Suddenly, it starts bleeding. They try to catch the blood, and then, oh shit, it starts eating through the floor. And then, immediately when this happens, the characters start panicking, and one of them says, that goddamn shit's gonna eat through the damn hole! And they start running, like, they're running to see the damage and trying to cut it off as much as possible. Like, actively chasing the acid as it's, like, eating through, I think, seven like levels of the ship, because again, if there's a whole breach in space, you're fucked, right? It stops at like the midway point, like it stops like going through, and then one of them says like, you know, they're like, oh, it stopped. Like they start noticing it doesn't keep eating, and then one of them uses a tool to kind of like poke at it to gather a little substance of it, and they realize, oh, it's not really that potent, and they say, oh, after a while this blood from the creature loses its potency. That's really good. Again, Patrick says, "Oh, the characters don't immediately do that because you know that's logical and that would destroy the the movie's plot and everything." It's like, motherfucker, that's literally what they did the second a danger was presented to the ship and its crew. Within the same example, literally, the clip is that stuff's gonna burn through the goddamn hull. In the same scene you played, it's just muted. And of course, people, like I said, a lot of people call them out on that shit, and like it just continues. This is what I often mean about like what happens or what's happened since like, oh, it's this whole like don't bully people, don't do this kind of shit. It gives birth to these moronic idiots who will like spew shit and not get challenged on it, and then spread false information and try to perpetuate something, and then when people rightfully call them out on their shit, oh, suddenly you're a toxic individual and you're a hater and everything like that. Like, that's not even remotely close.
I think that's why the Tumblr Exodus had so much success. It's because no one was calling the people out or gatekeeping them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you had
it just was on the same thing.
You had so many, like, breadtubers come up, and instead, no one was, like, there to call them out on their shit, so because of that, they pretty much were able to, like, lie about everything, and spread false information, and just brainwash my entire generation into their ideology. And, you know, and
exactly.
that's the thing, and I'm upset about it, you know?
Yeah, and again, it's because people don't want to argue these cases. People don't want to go into like, you know, like nobody likes it when someone's like a pushy like little bitch and it's like, oh, you're all, you know, like nerd glasses. Oh, sorry, you're, you know, nobody likes that, and I get that. Like, I really do. But at the same time, it's kind of necessary if you're gonna spew shit. You know, it's like you can't just say, I'm the king of France and back it up with no fucking proof. Same general thing. In fact, there's something else I kind of noticed, and I noticed this back a little recently. A while ago, a video came across my desk which was like, Half-Life 2 was a bad sequel. That was the name of the title. And basically, like to summarize, it was this like very clearly young kid bitching and moaning about Half-Life 2 and like just completely and utterly misrepresenting every little thing he could. Like he would deliberately take characters like voice lines and then make it like I never met, like, you know, like trying to make it like they're crazy and blah 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 blah, you know. That's the point. And the idea is that to kind of make a point that, oh, it was always like this and this and this and this. Like I said, he deliberately tries to misrepresent everything, and so, you know, he tries to quote unquote cover his bases, and he then claims like, okay, maybe the story, you know, people will see my way and like see the story as like not as great but whatever, but they'll fight me and say like, oh, the game's really well optimized, and then this fucker purposely finds ways to like cause the game to glitch and break, specifically to say, oh, it's really not that case. And I slowed it down. Other people have also done this too. An EFAP clone called Stag, an EFAP clone called Stag went through his video, and then one of them caught the scene in question where he loads a new area and it starts like glitching, going beep, beep, like, you know, the typical like audio glitch, pause, you know, stutter, everything like that. And then and then it immediately leads into this whole situation where this whole situation where he's like, oh, that little shit, he fired the shotgun and then loaded the save specifically to cause this glitch. And everyone started to realize like, oh, this little fucker would do that, so they actively started to like hunt down every single like what? Nah, I wish. They would actively like hunt, like look for the frames where he would like purposely try to do shit and things like that, and kind of run with it, right? And so naturally, people really like, again, when it became clear that this little shit was gonna like lie and do all this stuff, it became like his video's credibility went out the window. Even when I'm looking at the video, it's about 8 years ago. It has like, I don't know, I think like a couple, 126k views over 8 years, and the like to dislike is 3,000.8k versus 5,000.6k, meaning that the vast majority of people actually had their brains on and said fuck you, right? And so I was curious, because this, by the way, he calls himself the examined mind of life, examined life of gaming. Oh, so deep, right? And I became curious about it. It's like, okay, has this little turd actually like made anything of substance? And so I jumped into his most recent video, which is like, Control, it's not a lake, it's a puddle, like a very clearly like inflammatory video for like to kind of, you know, the typical like, I'm gonna say something inflammatory, get people to like watch my video and then not really back it up with any form of substance, right? And lo and behold, his attitude has only gotten worse. This like sense of superiority has become worse over time. The sort of like condescending attitude has also continued. Like any points he's trying to make feel like they're disingenuous. And this is what I mean. When people don't call these shits out when they're young, it becomes worse and worse and worse over time until they eventually become the problems that we have to deal with nowadays. And it's fascinating to essentially chart a like case zero incident like this and see where these problems really stem from. And it's purely a case of no peer review. No one going in and saying, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong, and actually providing factual evidence and humiliating these idiots when they really deserve to be humiliated. And so it just really boils down to, if we were to look hard enough, we could probably see this exact thing play out over and over again. Little shits thinking that they're hot garbage, going on, not being challenged for their shitty opinions, and actually being like corrected. And I don't mean like corrected as in like you need to be re-educated. I mean, corrected in the sense of like, what's the word? Corrected in the sense of like, your take is wrong. Here's the actual like source material. Blah 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 blah. That's the irony of it all, and that's what I think why this has really become a problem. Again, people are like, "Oh, you're bullying me. Oh, you're terrible. Oh, this." It's not like what you go through or what you went through with the whole multiverse thing. This was just a case of people just being dicks because it's like, "Oh, there's not enough pornography, therefore, read."
Yeah.
It's a case of like people need to be held accountable for their shitty takes in order for them to become better people. If we let mediocrity keep sliding, mediocrity is all we're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like one of the reasons I'm so well paid in my job is because I actually, do shit and actually do my job well. Like that's it, again, in life, if you do something well and prove that you're an asset, you get rewarded. If you're just farting through life, you're going to be treated like a fart in the wind eventually. You're just going to be gone. So effing tired of this. Again, it just kind of keeps bubbling over. And again, we can point to The Last Jedi about this too. People have gone to extremes to defend this dog shit film because they like it. And instead of being like mature about and saying, "Oh yeah, there's problems with this film, but I kind of enjoy it, but I won't deny that there's problems. There absolutely is." Instead of like, no, you are all wrong. This film's great. It isn't, like just acting like fucking children, unable to like process the fact that not everyone enjoys the same shit they do.
Yeah.
Like, for example, go ahead.
It's so childish. They're essentially man children because they can't accept the fact that people think differently than them when you really think about it.
Exactly. And they go through these extremes and then they become moronic as a result. And it's like brain rot in what's it called? Brain rot in real time. And like again, I want to bring this up. I like the film Prey. I know it has flaws, I know it has problems. Like there are logical inconsistencies. I'm not gonna hide that. But at the same time, the logical inconsistencies of this film are not as brain dead as fucking The Last Jedi or anything like that. Like, people love to bitch about the Predator's death scene, where in the final fight, Naru, this native girl, manages to shoot the Predator in the back of the head, but at an angle where it's clear that the bullet goes through his head, but not actually damages anything serious, which again, they also bitch about, but I'm like, okay, granted, I'll give you that one. Doesn't make much sense. But we can argue like angle and things like that. I know it's like a flimsy excuse, but credit where it's due, basically. But she shoots it, takes the mask, and runs away. And while he's injured, he doesn't see her take it. He doesn't know what happens to it. The mask is removed. She takes that opportunity while he's recovering to set up traps and like little ambushes, like to plot out the battlefield that she has to fight this hunter in, right? And throughout the entire fight, she utilizes the territory as well as she can. She actively goads it in. Like there's a spike trap she sets up because she watched the Predator leap from tree to tree, and so angled created like a spike trap where when the Predator tries to lunge at her and like fight her, specifically the Predator will it gets impaled on these like sharpened sticks and things like that. Or like again, she sets up these ambushes specifically to like slow it down or give her the advantage. And throughout the thing, she's actually really fucking up the Predator. She even manages to steal his spear, and when he pulls out the shield to try and defend himself because it's collapsible and it has sharp edges, when he tries to bring it up to protect himself, she manages to like redirect the shield so it severs his arm. And there's even a moment where he like sees the severed arm, goes like very clearly irritated and angry, and looks at her as if like to say, okay, you're going to die now, basically. Throughout the whole fight, like I said, it keeps even going it even goes further than that, where, like I said, she gets an opportunity and manages to use her tools to, what's the word? Grab the Predator and lead him into this, what's it called? This trap where previously in the film, she almost got drowned because of this like mud pit basically, and the pit is very deep, and she had to like really fight to escape basically. So she lures him to the same spot and manages to pull him down, and the goal is she hopes that it'll be enough to drown him, but because he's so tall, he's actually able to like stand up to his full height and get his shoulders out of it basically, and like a part of his upper torso, so he's able to still attack. So now she has to fall back to the other thing. Previously in the film, she witnesses one of his tools, which is this spear gun. This is the first time a Predator's never had a plasma caster. The spear gun is basically a rail gun that fires 3 spears, and the Predator uses his helmet's triangular targeting, right, to hit a target. We see it in action multiple times, where the thing has to lock onto a target, and the spear will, what's it called? The spear will follow the target based on where the lasers are. In a previous fight, Naru and her brother ambush the Predator, and her brother knocks off the Predator's biomask. The mask falls, but it's still active, and in rage, the Predator tries to shoot her brother. And we actually see that each time, like without the helmet on, he has to kind of eyeball the shots. But he's unaware that the targeting system's still on. So each time he fires, the thing is targeting a tree branch. So every shot winds up hitting that instead of actually going to her brother. They arc and go in like wide ranges to hit the wrong target. Then the helmet deactivates, and the Predator doesn't even realize that this is what happened. He just assumes his shots went wide and didn't actually hit the target. So she knows that this is already a weakness she can exploit, and it's a weapon he'll use if no other options are available. So she's put him in that position. She sets up his biomask on some rocks and has it pointing at the mud pit, like her last line of defense. And she goads him into kind of drawing it out, and even says like, hearkening to the Predator, like, come on, do it, like actively trying to goad him, and then finally says like, your journey ends here, no more. And he fires at her. Within seconds, the thing almost hits her, but the targeting, like as soon as the weapon comes out, the biomask's targeting system comes online, and it's targeting his head as well. He doesn't see this because he's at an angle he can't see the mask. The spear flies away, and he's actually following it, wondering where the hell is that thing going. He follows the spear until it's like far enough and realizes, oh shit, my biomask is on those rocks. He even tilts his head in surprise and realizes, oh no. Like now I admit the film is like not paced properly to have the like next scene have the thing go through. There's like a minute or so there that he could easily have dodged it, but again, I'm gonna chalk that up to bad editing more so than the movie's actual pacing. So the thing goes through his head and it kills him. People's argument is purely on that like 1 second delay, and the whole like, oh, he killed himself, he should know how his own technology works. Like frequently, like every time they'll fall back to this argument and keep saying like, oh, he should know how his technology works, he should have known this. It's like, he was shot in the head. He had no idea where his mask went. It literally was gone by the time he recovers, and had no idea that, oh shit, my mask could still be used against me. He just went, fuck, I gotta kill this thing now. And again, uses his spear gun as like a final ditch effort. He only fires that thing and tries to eyeball it because he doesn't have any other idea where like any other way to really target her. And again, he doesn't know his mask is right there until the last second.
Yeah.
And again, this is what I mean. People will take that and they'll just go like, "Oh, it ruins the whole film," because, and it's like, it really doesn't. Like it fundamentally does not. Like, again, is there problems with the film? Absolutely, there's a lot of it. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. Like, there is shit that makes no fucking sense, and I admit it kind of ruins some of the film. But at the same time, I'm not going to go like, it doesn't fucking matter, you people are stupid. It's going to be like, yeah, there's problems. I admit that. I enjoy it, but I'm not gonna call it a fucking perfect 10 out of 10 fucking masterpiece of a film. But in terms of a Predator film, it's pretty good.
I feel the same about Halo 4, actually.
Really.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I actually like Halo 4. I hate Halo 5 and don't like the stuff Infinite did with the lore, but the point is, I actually like Halo 4 for my own
Cortana
reason.
blows up planet because fuck you.
They just wanted to turn the Banished into the Covenant. That's what pisses me off. They ruined the Banished by doing that. They shouldn't have done that. There was such a unique concept, and they just turned them into the Covenant, but red. That's what they did.
Alien pirates. That's what they are. Like that's what I love about them. They're alien marauding pirates. And again, you could join them if you wanted to, but it's like, no, fuck you, Covenant.
Yeah, they just made them frickin' as religious as the Covenant, except all their vehicles are red, even though they use the same rank colors as the Covenant. You know? It doesn't matter if this is why I'm making my own fucking mod, because 343 doesn't know how to fucking do it, because they just wanted to use the Storm Covenant, but no one likes the Storm Covenant, and they already killed them off in Halo 5, so, let's use the things that Assemble made. No, it was Creative Assembly, I think.
Blur.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just, like, they didn't even add any of the Banished vehicles. They had some in the cutting room floor, but they got rid of them before launch, and they're probably never going to see the light of the day. They'd rather add the Falcon from Halo Reach 2 years after launch. It's taken us 2 years to get Firefight soon, which I can't wait to use it in Forge. I can't wait to make Forge Firefight maps, but I'm angry, because it's just like, I'm just angry, They just had so much potential.
No, I get you.
And they ruined the Banished and screwed up a lot of the lore. So I'm just upset about that. And that's why in my universe, Halo Infinite doesn't have it, because they clearly just wanted to do a reboot, but instead of using some character other than Master Chief, they
I don't even care about
oh,
healing. Let's go run.
we'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying.
This game's going on for too long.
Yeah, just fuck you.
And the reason I like Halo 4
Flag
is because it has
stolen.
least of the
Flag dropped.
from the 343 games. There's no microtransactions that require you to buy armor and stuff. There's no rec packs. It actually had one of the best leveling systems for
taken.
rewards for armor unlocks.
Flag dropped.
Not all of the designs were bad. I actually like some of the art style changes. And there's problems. I'll acknowledge that, right? I'll acknowledge that. I mean, I do like Cortana's games too.
Flag taken.
And I did like the art. I did like the stuff they did for Cortana and Chief, even if it's kind of out of place. It's just, I don't know. I'm willing to acknowledge it has flaws, but I'm just going to argue it's much better than, I mean, I would say Infinite has better gameplay, but I like Halo 4's story and stuff better. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Halo 4 is the least stupid of the stupid. And that's sad that that's the case. But it's alright, it's, interesting, and, controversial opinion, coming in. I don't mind the concept of the Storm Covenant. The basic idea that this is a Covenant faction that is using antiquated technology, is using, older things and, slightly different. Fine, you know what? Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like how any, remnant military isn't going to have, the most top-of-the-line shit, depending on, how many years they're in service, it makes sense. I'll bring this up again.
Keep going.
The Xeon Remnant from Gundam, specifically, have been actively waiting for, an opportunity to strike back and take the fight to the Federation. And even by the end of the 1 year war, they are in, some groups are in such bad condition that they actually have to, utilize whatever tech and machinery they have to keep their machines up to date. And I think I think my favorite has to be the Z2 Zaku, because it's very clearly designed to fight in like more guerrilla and slash like robust environments and things like that. But you can see where like pieces are mismatched, like different Zaku color schemes are kind of used. And again, it's because they do not have access to the most like basic supply lines. Even in like I think canonically 20 or so years later, when the Remnant finally launches their counterattack and joins Neo Zeon in like this push, the Federation actively says like, are they attacking us with like, antique mobile suits? And they kind of joke about it, but they make like, again, these guys are fighting with everything they have. A lot of their equipment is from the 1 Year War. It is not top of the line, it is not great, but they're still kicking ass with what they have because the pilots actually know how to utilize it. Of course, they're also bolstered with like Neo Zeon, more advanced machines to actually help them like fight back and bolster their lines, but they're making the most out of these like pieces of machinery. And if anything, you got to respect the tenacity of fighting in, again, what is essentially a 20-year-old war machine versus something more modern. It's like trying to fight a modern Abrams tank in an old German World War II type.
It's fun, bro.
Like, it may have been a tank killer in its day, but nowadays we got a lot more advanced tech that can really like fuck you up.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. But, that's what I mean. It's like, that's why I wasn't so, like, bothered with the Storm Covenant as a concept. It makes sense that an older they would make the most of, like, the most basic equipment and technology and really kind of fight back against what they had. And it really showed with, like, their tactics and how you fought them. Like, their shields were not that great, their armor wasn't that strong. Even their most like advanced fighters could be like gunned down if you knew like how to exploit the weaknesses of the tech. Like, it was abundantly clear how to exploit these shortcomings. But again, the game made it a point to like make the Remnant or the Storm Covenant not that great, by comparison.
Yeah.
But then, you get Halo 5, and it's like the Storm Covenant are like the default, and you sit there, it's like, why?
Yeah, they just turned them into the Covenant. And they gave them all these dumbass ships and stuff.
Yeah. And it's, like, it doesn't work, because again, you've got like I said, the Storm Covenant are supposed to be using like older fucking like what's the word I'm looking for here? Older like technology, and it doesn't make sense that the Swords of Sanghelios, who are like at the cutting edge of Covenant technology at this point, like canonically so, would use the exact same thing the Storm Covenant's using. Like, again, this is what I keep saying. Like, I don't mind the Sanghelios, like, what's it called? Like, the more elite-focused ship designs. It makes sense that without the Covenant's oversight, these ships would, like, the cultural focus on these ships would take, the elite's culture would start influencing the ship designs. That's, I'm fine with that. It makes sense. But then just bring in the Halo 5 ships to show the differences between the Storm Covenant and the Swords of Sanghelios. It's not that difficult to do. Like, it would show us how demonstrably different both are in technology. Like, again, the Storm Covenant should be using incredibly antiquated weapons and technology, and should not be able to put up a fight against the Arbiter's forces, who would have much more advanced tech, much more advanced fighting equipment, like actively fighting. Even there's this whole like side conversation you can pick up from like the Swords of Sanghelios camp, where the elite doctor says like, this wound, it seems familiar, and the injured elite says, at Ndama Keep, their plasma blades burn less intensely, harder to cut armor, but the wounds are more grievous and do not cauterize. So it shows that even by their own weapons and technology, they can't really compete with the elite. They have to like bank on good shot, like not cheap shots, but like lucky strikes to even get an opportunity to beat them. You know, that would have been far more interesting to see, like actively seeing how again, like I know that every story wants to make the protagonist the underdog because everyone roots for the fucking underdog. I get that, right? But like I said, this is what I mean. The Covenant specifically, what's the word? But in this instance, Jul Mdama's Covenant, the Storm Covenant, are the underdogs and should have remained that way. Like, this is a radical sect of religious zealots who are desperately trying to keep their way of life alive. And it makes sense that they would fight more intensely, that they would be more willing to sacrifice themselves. Like, they should have just flat out gone, the Storm Covenant will do whatever it takes to, like, defeat the enemy, and they're being pushed to the absolute brink of it. Like, maybe seeing elites who will take on the Grunt's suicidal tendencies with the plasma grenades, or, I don't know, Jackals abandoning the fight, kind of going like, this isn't worth, payment, I'm out of here. Like, things like that show us how the Storm Covenant is, like, desperately on the back foot. Like, that's it. Like, you don't need some overly complicated, crazy, over-the-top fucking explanation. It should just be point A to point B, you know? Not that hard. Again, this is what I mean. They can't get that. And it's this lack of trying that results in Halo 5 being, like, almost the thing that killed the franchise. Just like how The Last Jedi almost successfully killed off Star Wars, or, depending on who you talk to, accelerated the death of an already dying franchise. And to bring it back to these morons who would defend this shit, they'll just keep, like, I notice this a lot. Whenever these idiots like something and they can't defend it with, like, reasonable arguments or, like, logic or anything like that, they will always, like, try to appeal to, like, the emotional response every single time. Because it's a lot easier to go, like, oh, you can't invalidate my emotions because my emotions are, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
It's just... Go ahead.
They always go straight to ad hominems copping out of the actual thing, straw manning, or, just going to the emotional response. Because,
exactly.
they can't defend it, so they gotta, because you can't defend a piece of shit. So you have to tell people that everything else is just as shit as the piece of shit, you know?
Flag stolen.
Yeah, even though it's completely and utterly untrue. And like I said, they'll keep doing this, and they'll fall back to emotional responses because that way they can, like, take the high ground and try to, like, appeal to people's emotional core. And the goal of that is simply to just make it so, they can, like, say stupid shit, but as long as they appeal to your, like, emotional sensibilities, you'll wind up indirectly agreeing with them in some way, shape, or form. And it's always the same thing. They'll do this, they'll do that, they'll do this, and it's irritating. Because it's the most shallow, I can't fight back, and I can't really, like, I can't argumentatively, like, put up a way to fight back against this, so I'm just going to try and, again, appeal to your emotions, and then pray to God that you're stupid enough to go like, oh yeah, I feel this way, therefore it must be right. That's it. There's no greater mystery, there's no greater fucking, like, explanation or anything like that. It's just failure. It's failure over and over again, and it's just hilarious at the end of the day. Like, you get morons who will, like, defend this shit, religiously, and then you just sit there and go like, why are you retarded? Why are you defending this shit? I know you're not stupid. And it's simply because they can't express or they can't admit that something's bad. They like something bad, and they can't admit that. They fundamentally can't, because again, it's showing weakness in some like retarded form or anything like that. They'll just keep trying to go like, no, it's not that. You know, I'm not wrong or I'm not stupid. It's, you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's just like they're arguing for worse shit. You know, they're arguing to have their shit like, you know, have it off worse.
Yeah. And again, they don't realize that. Like, there's gonna be a time, and there's gonna be a point where there'll be something so bad that they'll jump on the quote-unquote toxic bandwagon to trash it, and then people will treat them poorly because they're like, oh, you were, you know, you said before that oh, this is wrong, but now you're doing it, you're a hypocrite, and then they abandon. Again, that's where this road eventually leads you. You wind up going into this point where people will just say, fuck you, you're stupid, and then leave it at that. And they can't, like, say, oh, you're being toxic or whatever, because it's like, you cultivated this. Again. You dipshit. Like I said, I'm so effing fed up with this. I'm fed up with, like, this constant attempt to, like, try to, make everything worse than it was, or make this argument. It's like, it never was this way. This isn't what's happening. You are being facetious. You are being deceptive because it's the only way that you know how to cope with the fact that you like something that's bad. And instead of acting mature and saying, you know what, this is bad, but I still like it even though it's bad, you just double, triple, and quadruple down because it's easier than admitting your faults.
Yeah. It's, and I think also part of the reason is because they know this new shit, like, promotes their ideology. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Revenge.
That's what I feel.
And again, it's easier for them to, like, be facetious and all that shit because they've deluded themselves. They convinced themselves that somehow they are in the right no matter what happens, or like how the world tells them you're fucking stupid, man. And
Revenge.
it's just pathetic. Like, legitimately, it's pathetic, and it's insanity. It's insanity to see this, because again, these are people who, like, as weird as this is gonna sound, like, they may have what's the word I'm looking for here? They may have at one point actually been smart enough to see through this and been like, well, this is fucking shit, I'm not gonna do that, you know? But they can't.
Oh, I
because
noticed that
at this
happened.
point,
There's this YouTuber called Cartoonchi, and he used to call this shit out, but then eventually, but then he, like, started shilling for it because he got trolls remorse and wanted to be all freaking woke.
well, it was more than that, because people were like, I remember Cartoonchi, and I remember specifically that a lot of this stemmed from, like, again, he put himself out there, and he was very, like, combative with his audience, and this is where the problem really comes into effect. The cartoon, like, when you make an enemy of your audience, don't be surprised if your audience is like, fuck this virgin, I don't like him, and I'm gonna be, like, vicious and nasty to him and do that sort of shit. And it's very clear that Cartoonchi is someone who has mental issues and is very sensitive about that. And so naturally, when people kind of, you know, when he revealed these sorts of things, because a lot of times the idiots who would defend these, like, shows and things would say, oh, you don't know real trauma, he would, you know, instead of saying, like, okay, that's your opinion, you're wrong, but that's your opinion, he would counter it with say, "I've had these problems," and and then again expose his weaknesses that left him open for people to exploit them, and then he's surprised when people would just attack him for these sorts of things, and so eventually he just started to he went down this rabbit hole, or he went down the way most of these morons tend to go, and it's always stems from when you turn your audience against you. Don't be surprised if your audience wants to see you fail and suffer more than they want to see you succeed.
Flag taken.
Yeah.
Flag dropped. Flag
Yeah, he didn't understand that in the slightest. He just kept thinking, "Oh, I can't be wrong," or "This can't be right," or blah 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 blah. He kept going at it, and again, it didn't help that he was a brilliant kid, but he would always find a way to piss people off. It's like, I'm trying to remember who said this once, but it's like saying, "You're a smart kid, but that mouth's going to get you into more trouble than you know."
Yeah. It's like despite the woke people going on about how tolerant they are, from my experience, I had to deal with Mara, they're not tolerant at all. They'll use every weakness against you, and they'll be completely hypocritical about it. They want to, be so passive-aggressive just to weaken you. That was his mistake. He kind of just let them use that, and then eventually someone, I don't know, apparently people on Twitter or something, just like his close friends or whatever, convinced him. That's always how it happens. They have like a close friend that comes and who's like woke, and then they convert them to the religion.
Revenge.
Like a certain biblical serpent.
Yeah.
Flag captured. Flag taken. Flag taken. Flag dropped.
And it kind of reminds me of Dumbsville too, because he kind of has the same thing happen.
Flag more or less.
And he what was it called again? Actually, I'm trying to think. He. Nowadays, he just froze it. He has a literal mental breakdown if you mention his old content. That's the.
What a bit.
Yeah, someone posted, someone made a video critical of him. This this guy that's completely, if you just watch his content, it's like the frickin' time capsule to 2016. But this guy made a whole video about him, saying he's a shitty movie reviewer, and then he made a tweet on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, this guy is so bad. He made this bad video about me, and fuck him for using the Sally Acorn profile because Sally Acorn was on the thing, and Dumbsville is a Son Alley, was a Son Alley suit. So."
Of course, because why not?
And then
you go ahead.
Because he just had a whole mental breakdown about it on Twitter because
flag dropped.
Yeah, and it's like I don't like saying it's like, "Oh my god, grow the fuck up," but it's like at this point it literally is, "Oh my god, grow the fuck up. We all do cringy shit. Don't let it define you."
Recovered.
Yeah. He's no better than Dylan at this point when it comes to that, because even Dylan is trying to do that whole thing where he's like, "Oh, I'm not edgy anymore. I don't want to get drama." Which I think
No. You don't want to get drama that you can't fucking control. That's what it is. Like Dylan doesn't give a shit about being a better person. He doesn't care about actually improving or anything like that. All he cares about is being the top dog who can shit on people and then proceed to weaponize that mentality and get support. That's all he's ever been about. He wants people to like him. He wants people to support him. He wants people to pay his way like every fucking moron out there does. And it's infuriating. And so when people were done with his shit, when they were like, "Oh yeah, Dylan's a total bitch, I'm not gonna deal with it," the moment his cash cow got arrested and is showing no fucking signs, by the way, of like returning to his ways, which is shocking. Dylan, is fucked, and he's been desperately, and I do mean desperately, trying to recapture that, and it's been failing frequently. For lack of a better term, he is screwed.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, too, I've noticed all these people have just kind of been, they've kind of been losing their audience and shit, because, they told their old audience to fuck off. Well, Dylan did it too, as well, because instead of, like, owning up to what he did, he just told everyone to fuck off and removed himself from the server, and, it's just like...
He duped himself.
Yeah. And now these people just have nothing. And they're slowly losing viewers, because I've noticed they've just been,
Killjoy.
losing audience. Sorry if I'm fucking up my words, I'm just focused.
No, you're not wrong. It's the simple fact of the matter is that they don't have that support structure anymore. Again, it's like, okay, like to use a metaphor here, it's like having termites in your house, and instead of hiring an exterminator to like clean it out and like fix it and everything like that, your instinct is to take a flamethrower to the wooden foundations, break it all down, and let the whole thing collapse, and then somehow assume that this is going to work in your favor, when it absolutely will not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna date myself here. It reminds me of a King of the Hill episode I saw, where specifically one of the characters, Dale, wants to defy the government in some petty way, and he keeps trying to get he wants to get a permit to build a watchtower on his property, but the city council won't let him because the structure is not like he's in a residential area, and like the proposed idea he wants to do is too big, so it's not zoned properly, yada yada, right? And so he wants to find a way to say, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want anyways. And so he winds up deciding, in his own special way, I'm going to get the measurements that they say I can't build it at, and I'm going to shrink it down by what? So for the tower to work, it needs to be 10 by 10 for the base and 10 by 10 for the length, right? So it goes by 9 by 9. The structure also has no foundation whatsoever. It's made of metal and things like that, and because he's built it below the requirements, it cannot be what's it called? It can't be he can't be fined for it, because again, it's a structure that now is considered part of his property and zoned properly and all that sort of stupid shit, right? And somebody gets angry about it. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. One of the neighbors decides, I'm going to fuck over your day because I'm petty and bitchy, right? So they get a city zoning individual, and they're like, can you find this idiot on something like that? And Dale's like, you can try this, and he lists off the whole thing, and then the zoner says, wait, forget about everything about that. Are you completely insane? And he even says a structure of that length and that size with no structural foundation is doomed to fall, right? And Dale says, whatever, leans against it, and him leaning against it is enough to cause the entire thing to topple over and collapse, and he's fine for it. In a lot of ways, this is exactly the same thing with these people who try to rebrand or rebuild themselves, or all this sort of stupid shit. They try so fucking hard to build these shitty little towers, and then try to do this and try to do that, and then when so much as like a little bit of pressure forces against them, the whole thing fucking collapses. Because they don't have that structure, they don't have that foundation, they don't have the fan base they need to continue. And they can't accept that. They can't acknowledge the fact that this is their own wrongdoing. And the easy way to fix this problem, typically, is just, what's it called? The best way to fix it, typically, is just, I'm going to, like, actually fucking apologize and do the right thing and say, like, yeah, I was in the wrong, I made a mistake, I'm sorry to everyone, and acknowledge the things you did wrong and explain how you're going to do things better. Don't just say, I'm going to improve, I'm going to do this, and like, that doesn't help you. That's a blanket statement, and again, you're just doing that so that way people will be stupid enough to think, oh, he's actually going to change.
Yeah, just like
exactly, or, you know, like, if you don't even acknowledge what you did wrong, it's not even an apology, you're just apologizing because it's easy. Again, I bring up SingStorm, who, instead of doing a blanket apology, admitted to his wrongdoings, admitted he's stepping away and getting the proper help, and even showed proof of his wrongdoing. And again, people haven't, like, tried to crucify him, people aren't trying to cancel him, people aren't even trying to, like, break him over the coals. If they believe him because he was so sincere about the whole thing, and is making an honest fucking attempt to make things, like, to improve what he's done, and to submit to his crimes. Something, again, that people like Dylan and people like Zap and a lot of these people don't do. Because again, it's far too easy to just do this and not have anything happen. You know, it's far easier to just say, I'm going to do a blanket statement, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to admit to my wrongdoings, I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, motherfucker. Oh, I almost forgot. Apparently, there's also one other thing I want to mention. Like, on a slightly side note, there's apparently a Japanese dinosaur film coming out
cannot
called
let the Covenant take this ship. Hold them back, Spartans.
Kiyorui.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like. There's something specific I liked about it. The armored T-Rex design. I don't know why, but this kind of works for me.
Yeah, I
like, you know, so it's yeah, like, again, I like how it's very clear they're trying to make the T-Rex and the baby T-Rex look like samurais, but it doesn't feel like it's forced. It feels like it's a natural evolution of the creature, and I do like how the sailbacks are colored in koi fish colors, implying that these creatures were specifically bred for their appearances. Yeah, again, it's a wonderful fucking thing, and I want to watch it. It's like, yes, I don't care if it's in Japanese. I will enjoy this fucking thing.
Well,
also, sorry, yeah, so I'm still gonna enjoy it. Like, even if I miss shit, I'm gonna like it. Plus, I also like the sailback, the two meat. That is a well-fed lizard. I like that.
Yeah.
He is obese. Yeah, he is obese, and it's just funny. Like, it's clearly implying that was someone's pet at one point, and it's just simply not really exercised and managed to keep the weight on. Like, all the others you see are, like, thinner, they're actually not that, like, crazy, and, you know, again, it's like, it's heavily implied that these were, like, bred as pets, hence the numerous, like, amount of them. Yeah. I need to look into this. Like, I feel like this is part of, like, an actual, like, pre-existing series. So I need to, like, look into it a bit more and say, like, okay, so what's the story here? Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh no, it's an original thing. Sweet.
Destination.
I need to watch this now because this is gonna be fucking amazing, and I'm gonna start bitching at my modeling friends to start making this shit. Like, I need you to do this. Thank you.
I want to make my creatures inspired by
Oh, cool. Anyhow, where were we before the change of topic? Yeah, it's like, that's always been the problem, is that these are people who don't really care about the wrongdoings they've done. They just want to, like, throw it out there, trick people into forgiving them, and then run with it, you know? And it's always, you know, it's always the same bullshit, and I'm so fed up with it. It's like, it's fake as hell, and nobody buys into this shit. It's like, you know, it's like YouTubers have ruined this, and like people can't respect like the whole I don't want to get into it, because again, it's typically code for I've done something wrong and I don't want to admit my wrongdoing, you know? Even if you legitimately don't want to like say what you did because it's like traumatic or whatever. And it's just always the same fucking thing, and like I said, I'm fed up with it. I'm tired of the constant bullshit. I'm tired of the constant, like, petty dramas. And I'm just tired of it all, you know? Like, and it isn't just, like, me being an old man saying, like, I want to, like, recline and, like, retire in peace, or go use the Wayback Machine to remember old videos that I watched as a child in my youth. It's more like, I'm fed up with this stupid shit. And, like, I'm so tired of drama that I've not wanted to bother with anything drama related, because there's no, it's like you have to have baggage to go in and have some cursory knowledge of who the villains and heroes are, and it's even then it's like I don't care. I just want to move on. That's why I ignore most of the shit unless it's like actually important to something.
I'm just so sick of like people. Like, I just see so many people just caring about this stuff, and it's like, I don't care. It's like, oh, look, the latest drama happened. Who's the bad guy of the week?
Yeah, basically. Again, it just goes on and on and on and on and on, and I'm just so fucking tired, and I just can't bring myself to care anymore. Like, even those YouTubers who I follow for, like, specific locales, if they start talking about something new, I don't jump on it right away. I'm all like, no, I don't need more anger in my life at this moment. If there's boredom or whatever, maybe I'll look into it, but that's only that's a big maybe, you know? But, no thank you. Life's too short as it is, and I have, you know, I've got enough blood pressure issues to last me a lifetime, thank you. Like, half the time, again, like I've joked, I can feel my blood boil and my eye starting to, like, push itself out of my head. Just so much anger, and then suddenly I'm seeing red. Like, not in a metaphorical, I'm so angry I'm seeing red. I mean, like, literally the blood vessel in the eye has ruptured, and all I can see is fucking red. Yeah, absolutely. Like, what are they called? Our veins in our eyes are very fragile, even by comparison to the rest of us. And so, it's easy for them to rupture. Like, most of the time they rupture on their own, and we rarely notice it unless it's like something serious. Like, for example, there was this girl who rubbed her eye, and she closed her eye and everything, and then the next thing she knows, when she looks into the camera, the whole thing's just going red quickly. That's just simply because she rubbed certain veins that were just like too close to what's it called? Too close to the surface, and you know, it's completely normal. She didn't need to go to the hospital or anything. She would probably check with a doctor, make sure nothing serious happened, but nothing like life-threatening or eyeball risking actually occurred from it. But that's where it kind of boils down to. Like, with like if you get it like enough anger and it's just going to your head, it's entirely possible for the blood vessels in your eye to rupture, and then next thing you know, your entire vision becomes like a hazy red mist, and you're just sitting there like, ah, great, now I can't see shit. You have to wait for that shit to either like dissipate on its own, go to a doctor to give you like some drops so that way the eye heals faster, or just bear with it until it like all goes back to normal. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's neither here nor there, but you know, it's the same thing. I just can't, like, life's too short. I can't keep going on about like the anger in my life. I'm just like, you know what? Peace, zen, focus on my shit, live my life, you know? It isn't even that whole, like, that stupid shit, like, live, love, pray shit. It's more like, I have my garden, I have my cooking, I have all these things. I can just unplug from the, what's it called? I can just unplug from the internet and just enjoy my, enjoy the world for what it is, go into my garden, deal with my daylilies, and just call it a day, you know?
Yeah, that's why I unsubscribed from a lot of the mainstream YouTubers and a lot of them, because all it is just talking about like the latest drama, and just, you know, I stopped caring in like 2017, like late 2017, I think it was, because it's just like it became so hard to keep up with, and I realized I don't really care anymore. You know, it's just, I just can't find it in me to care about these people. Like, oh look, the bad guy of the week did this. It's just
Exactly. There's, like I said, there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so much you can do before you just like lose your fucking mind. And again, you need hobbies outside of the internet to keep you sane. Like, again, daylily garden, model making, cooking, putting on some music, dancing, like all these fucking things to keep you sane and grounded. And remember that the internet isn't real life. You can just unplug, do your own shit, even game for a while, and just like pop in a game that you'll play for like a few minutes and call it a day. Like it's not, like I said, it's not that hard. But again, not everyone has reached that point like I have in my life where I can just go peace, you know?
yeah.
And it's just, like I said, it's just, what's the word? On and on and on and on, you know? And I'm just so, what's the word? I'm just so fucking fed up with it, and I just can't wait for things to calm down. Also, speaking of games and shit, I have an idea I want to do. Not for a game or anything like that. So for the whole, like, you said you wanted to stream Sonic Superstar, right?
Yeah.
Or Stars. I was thinking, since we, again, and I have to check in again because it looks like, for the Steam Deck, the, what's the word? Specifically for the Steam Deck, the fucking, it says it's unsupported, but I don't know if that's just because the game hasn't released yet and it's going to be supported later, or just something else. So, regardless, I was thinking about using our, more cartoony characters specifically to, what's the word? To kind of do like a little like let's play stream bumper sort of thing, where I was thinking about just because I do have access to it's called the stupid Sonic hat. Just kind of have our characters wearing that, and then have like the characters doing something silly. Like I wanted to joke and say like fucking, I don't know, your character's like running through one of the loop-de-loops, and I'm just kind of like hoarding item boxes or something silly like that. Like why? It's something I'm gonna probably work on tonight or maybe tomorrow, depending on how everything goes. Like in just in general, I should say. Let's see here. So something I need to do for the other characters as well, or some of the other things. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I need to adjust the.
Nice work, Spartans.
Okay.
They know that.
For the other, trying to think here. For the other things as well, at least when it came to Superstar, there are some things I want to kind of examine. Like, again, I think the consensus is that classic stuff is supposed to take place like canonically in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm thinking in terms of like
Hold this position, Spartans.
canonically speaking, where does Superstar sit in terms of like everything with Sonic? Which again has not been the most easy thing, given things like what's the word? Given things like oh Jesus Christ, what's the word I'm looking for here? Given things like what is it? Sonic CD and like its placement in the timeline, where it's like it's supposed to take place between 2 and 3, even though it makes no fucking sense. And, you know, so on and back and forth, so on and back and forth, and so on and so forth. So my assumption here is that Superstar is supposed to take place. In terms of the timeline, I think it's supposed to take place after Sonic 4, I think. Or, actually, no. I think Sonic 4 is supposed to be the transitional period where the game goes from the classic style to the more modern style, given like the 2.5, the 2D aspect with the full 3D kind of designs, but the more modern looks to everything. So I think it's supposed to take place sometime before Sonic 4, but sometime maybe after taking place after Triple Trouble, I think. Or am I missing another classic game? Nope. My audio dead?
No,
Oh, there you are.
I don't think you're missing it.
Okay. Look, I'm legitimately trying to think of like what other games could be there, and I don't think there is.
Maybe.
Because well, you're right, Mania. So where can we place Mania in the timeline of things?
Well, in the intro cutscene, it shows that it takes place after 3.
Okay, so I'm guessing the timeline would go Sonic Adventure, or sorry, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3D, or no, not Sonic 3D. What's the name of the Metal Sonic one? Oh, bear with me. It's not Spin Dash. Fuck, what was it called? Jesus Christ, I'm flouncing here so fucking hard.
Spinball?
No. Hold on. Sonic CD, that's it. Ugh. That's why I was getting thrown off, because it has D in the title. It says D in the title. Sonic CD, then Sonic Mania, then Sonic Triple Trouble, then Superstars, then 4, then Adventure 1, 2, Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, 06, Unleashed, Generations. What came after Generations? Oh God. It wasn't Lost World. Lost World was later. Oh God, I feel like I'm missing a game here.
Boom?
No, because Boom's like its own continuity, so I'm kind of like trying to go in order here.
Forces?
So, Generation... Was Forces after Generations?
No, it was after Lost World. Well, it's Sonic Colors, Generations, Lost World, and I guess Mania and Forces.
Even though Mania is like in the classic era, so that would be in the past.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, from release.
So then Forces. Right. I'm talking more like in timeline. So then it goes Forces, then Frontiers, and that's like the absolute last in the like chronological timeline events. Now, of course, I did like skip some of the spin-off games, but that's more because these are kind of miscellaneous, and the placement of them could be like literally anywhere, depending on how we look at it. Like in terms of the modern games and shit like that, and we're not counting like Sonic X or Sonic Boom or anything like that because those are their own continuities. So, generally speaking, Sonic's adventure from like beginning to end is not a difficult one to like chart out, and it is rather impressive. I'll give it that. But Jesus fucking Christ, I feel kind of bad for this blue fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this poor guy has not had a vacation at all, hasn't he?
No.
Like it's like, I'm so sorry, you have been constantly put into a position where you have to save the world every single time. And that would actually make a fun Sonic game. Sonic's attempt at a vacation, and somehow it just leads into another small adventure.
Yeah.
I kind of, well, technically, wouldn't that be the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog count as like the vacation?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be considered that.
I wouldn't technically count it, since that's basically supposed to be like Amy's birthday, so less so a vacation, more so I'm taking like I'm going to my best friend's birthday because it's her birthday and that only happens once a year, especially with how the timeline works and all this, because I think like isn't it supposedly like what's it called? Every single like in terms of timeline, isn't what's it called? Oh, I'm trying to think of the right word here. In terms of the timeline of the games and things like that, don't they like take place in a few years or anything like that, roughly, give or take?
Yeah.
Okay, so my assumption is that what's it called? My assumption could be that realistically speaking, everything's been like taking place in like a couple of years and things like that. Like again, they keep trying to say like Sonic's like simultaneously 15 years old, but also realistically he's in his mid-30s and some shit like it's like this fucker is never gonna grow up, is he? It's like the inverse of I want to be a real boy.
It sucks because it's like it's been years and they're not aging.
Yeah, they're not really trying to give Sonic a they're not giving him an opportunity to really like grow and develop as a character. Like they did that with I want to say Sonic Frontiers and things like that. Like they did give him an opportunity to really mature and change, like especially with like characters like Tails is growing up so fast, he won't need me soon, or for once Amy is actually gonna like be able to protect herself instead of me constantly having to hold her hand like some bitch boy, and like so on and so forth. So it's nice to see that sort of like growth from the characters, but it's like so fucking limited in comparison to everything, like a lot of these characters just kind of how do I put it? they grow, they change, they really adapt and everything like that. But they haven't really like had an opportunity to really grow up with us, you know? Like we've only ever seen them change and grow as time's gone on. If that makes any sense.
I think
you know, like go ahead.
I think I get what you're getting at.
Like I'm sure I could word it better, but like to put it into like a proper sort of like, how do I put it? To put it into like context or like into a proper sort of like frame, let's say, of everything. Sonic, like Sonic's been his devil may care attitude for a good fucking while. He's not really changed in terms of anything. He's always been kind of like snarky, and you know, he's always been kind of like this, like that, like, you know, on and on and on and on as it is. But he's not really like, how do I put it? He's really not changed since there, you know? But what's the word I'm looking for here? He's like, in the classic games, we could always kind of get like an interpretation of his character. It wasn't always necessary for Sonic to speak his mind or say anything like that, right? So it's always been a kind of case of like how people interpret Sonic, how he's been in the games and everything like that, and how you as the player kind of like look at it. It's not always been a necessity per se. It's not always been a like requirement for Sonic to be like, oh, I believe in humanitarian rights because secretly I support secretly I support this and this and that, this and this, you know? It's always been like what's the word? I'm trying to think of the right word here. Like, it's changed, you know, over time. And we've always had an opportunity to really, like, see characters change and evolve and grow and, you know, all these sorts of things. Like, it's always been something that people have enjoyed and people have kind of always kind of attached themselves to. Some more so than others, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Kuda, Mr. like freak of nature over there.
Yeah, Mr. Shits himself.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, no thank you. What is it when someone, like when Johnny was doing his like Sonic-a-thon and things like that, I think it was his girlfriend or Elliot's girlfriend, I forget who. They specifically, like, they were told about Kuda, and then she was like, who's Richard Kuda? And then Johnny specifically says, that's deep Sonic lore. You don't want to go into that. And they're like, oh, okay. Which, again, that's like a weird way of putting it. It's like, oh yeah, that's deep Sonic lore. You don't want to mess with it. It's kind of the same energy as fucking, what's it called? It's the same energy as, what's that dark, shadowy place over there? That's 4chan, son. You must never go there.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Anyway. But that's what I mean. Like, Sonic's changes and things like that as a character has always been, like, dependent on the audience and dependent on the player and, like, how you interpret the character. Not necessarily how the character has been or how he's been portrayed, you know, moving forward. And that was the benefit of the classic games. You can always kind of like put in your own interpretation as to what Sonic was like or how the character was like in your brain, you know? And that was always the like great thing about those games. Sonic didn't have a voice, so therefore nothing, you know, like your headcanon wasn't always like contradicted. It's like saying, oh, I believe he sounds like fucking Julia White, or I think Sonic sounds more like what's his face, Chris Rogers, or you know, like things like that. You know, like it's always been up to player interpretation of the character sounds, and all that sort of stuff. It's never been like forced on you, per se.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, what?
No, I was saying, like, go ahead.
Oh, I just said yeah. I was agreeing with you. Sorry.
Thank you. But yeah, that's really what it kind of boils down to. It's just a case of, this is the situation. Let me see here. Yeah, and the same kind of goes with, like, trying to think of the right word here. Like other characters in general and things like that. Like I said, not every character was like created to be some like iconic character or like masterpiece of like action or whatever like that. Like it was always kind of like up to interpretation how you wanted to have the character be represented. Like if I'm trying to think of the right word here. Like if you believed Eggman was slightly like I don't know had a British accent or something like that. That was fine, and if you believe Knuckles was more like, suave or whatever, you could also do that too. But like I said, this is just kind of like going more into like headcanons and things like that. So I think it's not necessarily something we kind of need to like really exposit or expand upon. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think I understand.
Yeah. And with the more modern games, again, it just kind of it more boils down on like personal preference, like how you believe the characters are being handled and introduced and things like that. Again, not necessarily something negative or positive in any way, shape, or form. Just more, like I said, down to the wire as it is. Like how you interpret things, or like I said, not every fucking like Sonic game is going to be a fucking masterpiece. You're going to get some duds. You're going to get some, craptacular games. But again, down to personal interpretation, down to personal taste.
Yeah, it's all down to that.
Like I know people who are like, oh, I fucking hate Sonic Colors because I don't like how quippy Sonic is, or I hate Unleash because they made him into like a fucking furry. It's like, it's shit like that, and I just kind of sit there and like, but why though? Like, all you said is that I don't like the characterization they gave Sonic, and that's bad. It's like, care to elaborate? Care to say why? Okay, nothing. Like there's no real attempt. What is it? There's no real attempt to actually like make an argument there, per se.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've also known people who like get on like Rouge's case too, and it's like, oh, she's too seductive and like what is it, horny, and I'm like,
oh, we have to
what the fuck are you reading into?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you reading into?
Yeah, it's just funny because like they're going on about that I don't know, they're just going on about it because they're jealous that she has bigger boobs than them.
Like you say that, I immediately. Go ahead.
It's just simple as that. That's always the case. You just look into these people's profiles. It's either some femcel who's angry about men, or it's and is also insecure about their own body, or it's some gay person who's mad that it's not their sexuality being represented, or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like I need a sexy male bat with like a huge visible dong on his suit at all times.
Well, it's just the thing is like these people are fine with sexualization as long as it's the woke sexualization. If it's anything that's not, they throw a fit.
Yeah, safe horny.
Yeah, safe horny. Yeah, that's it. I freaking got that from Short Fat Otaku. I watched his video.
Yeah, same.
Oh, really?
I watch his stuff every so often because I find him like funny. He makes me giggle every so often, and I appreciate the kind of like down to earth, dry wit he can bring. Like I'm not saying like I'm not shilling for him like, oh my god, I love his Canadian dick or anything like that. But it's more like it's nice to not have to be like treated like a fucking bitch every other day by some idiot, you know?
Yeah, and
Plus he's around my. Yeah, go ahead.
and because I often find that I can disagree with him without like he's fine with disagreement and shit like that.
Yeah. Like for example, I think he's closer to my age, so it's I'm always been like, you know what? It's nice to see someone who I was with at this time, or like not with at this time, but like grew up during my era, and we can like it's glad to see someone not having drunken the Kool-Aid per se.
Yeah.
It's nice. It really is. But again, that's a dime. That's one in a million, and it's annoying to say the least. And again, kind of getting back to like these fucking like what's it called? These fucking issues with like Sonic characters and like the sexualization shit is like everyone's always on and on and on and going like, oh, this. It's like people have been sexualizing furry characters for generations. It's nothing new. Every time a new character comes out in anything, be it fucking what's it called? Be it a furry or some show or some shit like that, everyone's gonna have that moment where they're like, I need to fuck them. That's it. Like it's no secret. Everyone fucking has those impulses. People will look at a character and go like, yes, I need to get into the bone zone with that character. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, I think there was some sort of like infamous fucking weirdo online who has like this mad fucking crush on like a Spyro boss that you take out in like 5 seconds in like the original game. For whatever reason, she obsesses over him to like the point of like disturbing obsession, right? And again, as weird as that is to me, it's like whatever. People will always do that. People will look at a character and go like, yes, X. Like you and Styx. Like Styx is not someone people would find conventionally attractive. People would be like, oh, she's a weird badger girl that fucking believes the world's out to get her because she's crazy and is filthy and like shit like that. And that's that's completely up to your prerogative. You can absolutely have that and absolutely enjoy this. Again, I'm not robbing you of this, and I don't think anyone else would.
Well,
it's going to boil down.
Here's the thing. I don't even like her because of her appearance in Sonic Boom. I just saw like Rule 34 of her, and I was like, holy shit, this is cool.
Yes.
Cave woman. I like dinosaurs, so that was the whole reason behind it. It's not because, like, I don't see her the same way people see her. I find her Sonic Boom version cringy. I find my version to be the version I know,
Yeah, like people, what is it? The idealized version of a character or like a person?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, again, completely normal. You can absolutely have that. Like, no one's gonna rob you. Like, who's there? Hello?
Oh, it's Goku. I think he was talking for a sec, but his mic sucks.
That's good. Yeah. What was I gonna say? It's like everyone has that one Sonic character that, for whatever reason, they have a fucking crush on, and they love them for, whatever reason, be it for like, quote unquote, good reasons, bad reasons, horny reasons. Like I said, the list goes on and on and on. There's no like, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's no correct thing to counter. There's no incorrect thing. Like, people will do what people do. That's just how the world works. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the sausage is made. That's just all it is. You know, regardless of what you believe or anything like that. Like, I'm sure someone has a fucking crush on fucking Vector the Crocodile, because why the fuck not? Or some people like Big the Cat, because, I don't know, people like big, fat guys. Like I said, it kind of goes on, you know, it goes without saying, you know, and it's just how it be. Like, even I find some of the Sonic characters attractive, but I don't go out of my way to say, like, I must make them my boyfriend/girlfriend, you know? Like, I could express an interest in finding the Sniper for whatever reason, but that doesn't mean I'm going to, like, lose my fucking mind over, oh, they didn't get him right or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like I said, that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how people are kind of like hardwired to enjoy things, and there's no, like I keep saying, there's no shame in it. It's just, you know, you like what you like, and that's entirely within your prerogative.
Yeah.
So Jesus Christ, I am fucking up here. Sorry. Finally got separate ways to work, and I am just like, I never realized how out of practice I am. Anyway, but that's, you know, neither here nor there. But it kind of gets back to the same point. People like what they like, or, you know, everyone has like a different interpretation of what a Sonic character should be, or how they should act, or, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like how Sega believe Sonic should be more, I don't know, generic, or like basic cool guy and things like that, and other people could want him to be a bit more serious, like how the Archie comics basically made Sonic a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for here? How the Archie Sonic comics tried to make him a bit more like down to earth and you know, kind of like slightly different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they...
Or I guess some people would say like melodramatic.
Yeah.
Which I've never agreed with, to be quite honest. I just thought he was mature.
Well, that's one of the good things Penders actually did.
Rarely gonna hear people ever agreeing or saying, yeah, there's something good Ken Penders did.
Yeah, he was the one that wanted a you know, tone like that.
Yeah, among other cringy things, like, again, Ken, for all the shit he's done, and for all the stupid, like, for every stupid, incredibly stupid things he's done, he came up with some interesting ideas that, on the surface, weren't so bad, you know? Like, he introduced slightly different takes on the characters, he brought an interesting iteration on them, like, he did things that made the Archie cast interesting in sort of that interesting sort of 90s kind of vernacular. And again, this is also another problem with Sonic. The definition of cool changes with each generation. What's cool nowadays won't be cool in like 20 years. Or what was cool in the 90s isn't going to be consistently cool in like moving forward. In a lot of ways, Sonic is like, he's trapped to be like a dork, you know? Like, how many kids do you know who say radical without it meaning something else?
I don't think anyone did except in movies and TV shows.
Exactly. Like, I miss the days when people would say that was pretty wizard. Nobody says that anymore.
I miss the days when we used to say that's pretty gay.
And actually meant bad and terrible. Sorry, I mentioned that, and now all I can think is that one Vader moment, the whole what is it? Robot Chicken sketch where fucking what's his name? There's this whole moment where like Palpatine, you know, it's the bit before Vader throws him down the elevator shaft, or sorry, not elevator shaft. Why do I keep calling it that? The pit, and he just says like there's this whole moment where it's like Vader leans in and everything, and then Palpatine's like kind of staring into my soul there, Vader. What's going on? And then there's this whole moment where he just kind of goes like, "Wait, is he coming on to me? Is he gonna kiss me?" And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Get away from me, you fruit! Like, like obviously it's played up for gags and shit like that. But I think my favorite bit has to be shortly after Vader during this whole scene, everyone's like internally monologuing while everything's happening. Like Luke says, like when he gets electrocuted with like the lightning and it goes into his eyes, he says, I looked right into the lightning. I'm gonna be seeing spots for hours. Damn it! And then Vader just kind of goes like, wow, was I that whiny as a kid? And then just kind of piece it together, looks at Palpatine and says like, why is his teeth so yellow? I mean, I guess when you look like a burnt candle, flossing is just kind of like pissing in the wind. And then kind of goes like, wait a minute, how can I have a son if this fruitcake said I killed my pregnant wife? It's a madhouse. A madhouse. And then at some point he just goes, nobody says wizard anymore. And then after throwing Palpatine, he falls backwards. Luke holds him and he says, Father! And Vader just goes, that was pretty wizard, wasn't it, son? And Luke looks at him and says, what? And he slides forward and says, I'm bringing it back. Oh god, that's like when I get to that age and I have children of my own, I'm going to select that one phrase that used to be hip with the kids and everything like that. And then at one point I'm gonna have that moment where I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna have like an emotional moment with my kid, say that was pretty, whatever the word I selected. My kid's gonna look at me and say like, what? And then I'm just gonna, without any explanation, power slide on my knees and say, I'm bringing it back. That is my entire motivation to have children right there. just for an old fucking joke.
Yeah.
Oh god. Because fuck it, why the hell not? Got my head. Yeah. I'll also give The Mandalorian this one bit. They had fun with it. There's this one scene where Din does the whole flying thing, and his friend's like, "Oh, how was it?" And he just says, "Wizard." And everyone in the comment section just went, "They brought it back." Why not? Oh dear. Gonna need that in my life. Let me see. So yeah, that's something. Again, I think that the other bit is, what was it? Like I said, I just wish like something like that would be a bit more interesting these days, or anything of that nature. Like, just say fuck it, you know. Have fun with it. Do something stupid. Why the hell not?
Yeah. It's just wants to. I don't know. It's just people don't like having fun in it.
Yeah, because it's like, it's fun, it's fun. Exactly. It's like, even my own ideas for like, you know, the whole Terriers project and all this sort of shit. I want to have fun with it. I want to do something stupid and fun. And again, I know this is probably just going to be cringe or nobody's really going to pay attention to it, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Because why not? And again, that's just a few small ideas I want to run with.
I can't wait to see them in action. Where are you gonna upload them?
I don't know yet. Like, part of me, like I said, I kind of want to do some like audio, like focus stories with like just the basic like story outlines, images on the comic, or images on the screen, characters kind of interacting, things like that. Because again, I'm not an artist, so I really can't draw what I want to do. But I have like, you know, like the ideas are kind of like there and like set up for like what I intend to do. You know, like what is it? Like I've been thinking on it a bit more. I finally got more plot for the story, so I decided that Terios gets like ejected from the what's it called? From the space colony Ark, and winds up like after like a fight between him and Shadow. Terios gets ejected from the space colony Ark. He winds up like flying down to Earth, and while this is happening, Eggman is specifically like taking advantage of the situation. He notices what's it called? He notices a situation where it's like, what's this about? You know, and basically decides he's going to what's the word? Take advantage of the situation. You know, as in like he's going to what's the word? No, like he notices this. He sees fucking what's his name? Terios falling down to Earth. He notices like, oh, there's like a being of unique power and everything like that, and decides he's going to investigate. This leads into Terios meeting with Eggman, the two having a conversation, and then specifically Terios realizes that Eggman is in fact a descendant of Gerald Robotnik and decides to go work with him. But he makes a demand that Eggman has to fix him, and so Eggman keeps his word for the most part. He agrees to like, what's the word? He agrees to repair Terios's like fucked up body because he's overheating for whatever reason, and then Eggman does a surgery, but because Terios is like designed to regenerate slowly. Because again, they don't. This was like to counter the problems with the Biolizard's over regeneration. Naturally, Terios can't heal properly because of like after even the surgery, and he's still bandaged up and everything. And Eggman is basically willing to offer Terios like he specifically mentions to Terios how there's a gun military base not too far from here. If Terios agrees to like help Eggman take the base, he will agree to like help Terios recover more of his like help him recover basically. Like that's the big thing. He'll help Terios recover and like get back on his feet basically, because he mentions that inside the facility, which is like a scientific facility, there is a what's it called? There is a
Man down.
medical pod inside that would help with the healing process, just like the stasis pod. This leads into Terios basically like moving in, attacking the facility, clearing it out while Eggman basically tries to hide the fact that it's him attacking it. Like specifically, I decided to have him in the Egg Walker, and what happens is that in order to hide that, hey, it's Eggman who's in the pod, you know how like Eggman's normal Eggmobiles have that little like, what's it called? Have that little like canopy he flips out.
Yeah.
Like that's the idea. The canopy for this one is basically, what's it called? The canopy for this one is like a metallic shell that hides Eggman's like presence there, basically. And so instead of Eggman actually being like inside the pod, like they can see into it, it's like a metal shell with like the 3 cameras in the front. Eggman hides his involvement, yada yada yada. Tyrios infiltrates the base, and again, I want to play into the idea that Tyrios is, unlike Shadow, he doesn't fight cleanly. Like, you know how Shadow bounces around and kind of hits an opponent with like a clean strike. I want to have Tyrios being more like a brute, where he'll go in and like use both fists to punch you, and like he puts like a lot more strength into each strike. So in a lot of ways, he's like fucking Knuckles, you know, and how Knuckles fights his enemies and things like that. That's kind of the idea I wanted to go with. Eggman keeps his promise. Tyrio goes into the stasis pod. Eggman's already starting to turn this space into another like Eggman facility. You know, using the robots, which I specifically want to use the E1000s. You know, the Gamma clones that he uses in Sonic Adventure 2. And the idea is that he doesn't have that many resources left, and he only has a couple hundred of these E1000s left. And to hide the fact that it is Eggman, he wants to imply that someone's stolen his tech and is using like outdated machines to fight. So that's why he uses them. So that's what winds up happening. Tyrios goes into the pod. It's revealed that Eggman has a device, like specifically he replaced the heating units inside Tyrios' body, which are designed to like cool down his blood if he uses too much Chaos Energy, with like more advanced models. But specifically he also put in an electric mod inside Tyrios' body that if he tries to rebel in any way, shape, or form, Eggman can like electrocute him and like temporarily disable him. Of course, that's not going to actually work the way you intend, but you know, I haven't planned that far out ahead just yet. So that's kind of what's happening here. The next part will focus on Shadow, Omega, and Rouge coming in, fighting, reaching the facility, and intending to like take the facility back because GUN Command has specifically mentioned that Eggman's taking over the facility. He's trying to like they want him to be dealt with because of whatever he can be up to, and so they decide to like attack the base directly. This is also where I want to introduce a concept where this facility is basically where GUN is like building their like machines, prototypes, things like that, but also kind of like service certain vehicles and machines, right? And I wanted to make it that the Diabolon is actually stored here, and Eggman specifically wants, finds it and finds another vehicle. What's the name of that one? What's it called? That one vehicle that it's like a tank, but it hovers. What's it called?
I don't know.
Oh. It's one of the boss. It's a boss fight you like encounter twice in the entire game. Specifically, what's the word? You encounter twice in the game. Specifically, I think they call it like the hot dog. No, the hot dog was in the Adventure 2. My apologies. It's the other one. It's like it's a round floating tank with like rocket launchers on it. It's like yeah, that's it, Heavy Dog. Why did I call it a hot dog?
Shots on target.
You know what? Old man moment. Let's just leave it at that. But basically, the idea is that, what is it? Basically, the idea is that he finds the Diabolon because it's being like kept there and it's being like repaired and like being worked on after the events of Shadow the Hedgehog specifically. And so what winds up happening is that what's it called? after the events of Shadow the Hedgehog, basically, what is it? It's being kept there because, you know, what was it? I think his name is Commander Tower, took it. It was damaged, it had to be repaired, like systems had to be like rebooted and things like that. And as a result of that, the machine basically had to be like really fixed and worked on. You know, that sort of shit. Like it's here because it's being like updated and all that sort of shit, right? And what winds up happening is that what's the word? What winds up happening? I'm trying to think of the right word here. The idea is that Eggman finds these devices and decides, you know what, Gun's been so nice with leaving me these little trinkets, maybe I should really repay them and try to make something interesting. And so this results in excuse me, Eggman combining the torso of the Diablon with the heavy dog body to create something I'm kind of nicknaming the Egg Devil.
Oh shit.
We lost
Watch
one.
out, Megatank may be mad at you for that.
Why?
Because he keeps talking about how that's his final boss or something. I don't know.
The fuck?
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't get it, but sure, why not? Okay. Well, I'm trying to make it a specific thing where the Egg Devil is, what's the word? The Egg Devil is a, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a machine that basically Eggman has, you know, essentially taken for himself, and is combining the like most basic aspects of like these two, what's the word I'm looking for here? You know, these two machines, basically. He's taken these both. And, sorry. Sorry. I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bear with me. Hold on. The general idea is that, I'm trying to think of the right word here. The general idea being that, you know, Shadow would, Eggman kind of like takes this machine, really builds it up, makes it his own sort of thing, and really decides to, you know, play with it essentially. Like he specifically decides that the Egg Devil is supposed to be like, I don't even want to say like his magnum opus, but something that he could effectively utilize and turn against like the others if he needs to. So he intends to use this thing as kind of like a, I want to say kind of like a stand-in for like his typical machines. And the concept I kind of want to run with is that this machine is specifically a, what's the word? It's not his typical bread and butter. It's not a machine he actually would like create. And the idea is that I kind of want to set it up as the, what's it called? I kind of want to set it up as not the final boss of the story, but something that basically would,
It's injured.
what's it called? Give Shadow and the others trouble, and like specifically imply that, you know, this, without Sonic to really like help make this thing an easier boss fight, Shadow has to depend on the others for like major assistance. So like one idea I had was that specifically the machine, like I wanted to get rid of a lot of its retarded abilities, like that stupid swipe it does, and the dumb head laser that it fires but never actually like, what's the word? But never actually like makes the most use of. So I wanted to kind of have it be a bit more like, it is a, it still has the shield, it still utilizes said shield, and specifically, Eggman uses that to protect like the more vulnerable Diablon part, while the heavy dog part is used offensively. So it's firing like more rockets, weapons, that sort of thing. But again, I want to really play into the idea that Eggman is having difficult time piloting it because the controls and everything about it. He hasn't had time to really improve or adjust it, giving the others kind of like an opportunity to really, stick it to Eggman and actually kind of like go like, we have a chance to like really beat him this time, not just we're lucking out on it, you know? If that makes any sense. Again, I don't want it to be the typical Eggman creates machine, Sonic beats because fuck you reasons, you know? Like, I want to give everyone an opportunity to really fight and beat it. And I kind of want to set up Terios as the sort of final boss of the whole thing. Where, specifically, I have this idea where, and this is just an early concept, also feel free to like jump in there and report. I don't want to just talk to you.
Yeah, sorry I haven't, but I've just been so focused on the game that I just have trouble, like, formulating the sentences. And I don't know much about, like, I'm gonna be honest, I know nothing
Shots
about
on target.
Okay.
So I don't know what I could, like, say to add on to it, because I'll be honest, I haven't really played these games. I don't really have much of an opinion that I can, like, give compared to
That's fine.
the classic stuff.
No, that's fine.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm fine with it. I mean, just more like, if you've got like opinions or like something you want to say about the story or what you enjoy about it so far, or anything, feel free to like add into it. Or, like anything that you would probably like, try to change.
The story sounds pretty good so far. Sounds like it actually fits into the Sonic universe and all, but is Terios a Metal Sonic thing? Because sounds like, I don't know.
No.
Because you.
Terios. Yeah, go ahead.
You said that he needed to be repaired, like he's a robot.
So the implication with Terios I wanted to do is that Terios is specifically, for lack of a better term,